I am DYANAROZAY, and I bring a unique commentary to your favorite reality TV shows and whatever is popping on social media. If you are not a subscriber, please become one. Hit that notification bell too, that way you don't miss any of my videos. I go by DYANAROZAY on all platforms, and I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me. What's up, Supreme Team? Welcome to the channel. Welcome, 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 child. Y'all are finally here at the cookout. Come on in, come on in, come on in. And I see y'all saying that y'all hungry and things. Okay, so come in. Welcome. I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me on this Sunday, child. We got a lot to talk about on this damn show, okay? Hit my like button, share the video. If y'all can hear the sound of my voice, let me know, child. I saw y'all complaining. Miss Ty. Let's see. Melissa, welcome to the family, child. I appreciate you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let's come on in, come on in. We got plenty to talk about, I swear to y'all. I had to get my notes right. I promise. But thank you for becoming a new member. I appreciate you. What's up, Peaches in the house? Ty, I see you, Ty. Miss Baby Peaches is a member, also a member. So anybody that you see with a little S behind their name, they are here. They are members. My snarky friend, Kevin. Y'all, I love Kevin. He makes me laugh. Come on in, come on in. They not, okay, they not. Cheryl the Pearl, another member in the house. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I appreciate y'all. And y'all know Clone is my sister, child. We got the same mama, the same damn daddy. It's proven, okay? Y'all know there were some rumors out there that we didn't have the same mama, same daddy. Thank you, Sunny. She actually put that blanket over all of us. But for those of y'all who have the same mama, same daddy, let her know, okay? Come on in, come on in. I appreciate every single one of y'all for rocking with me, child. We are talking about those folks right there. You see them, okay? Miss Destiny, baby. Oh, you messed up. Come on in, come on in. You said, what autocorrect is the devil? That's for sure. That's for sure. Anyway, I'm gonna put y'all comments up because it looks like a lot of y'all are coming through. And we are gonna get to it. Y'all know I do I do pen and paper with my notes because there's just so much going on this damn show. Starting with the opening scene, Martell and Chris Fletcher and Destiny. Listen, I'm not even gonna hold y'all, so come on in. Everybody hit the like button, share the video, please, and thank you. Everybody hit the like button, share the video, please, and thank you. Destiny is the show this season, okay? And there were no Scotts this episode, no Scotts. Now, I have to say, I know a lot of people give the Fletchers heat, okay? Hey, Kiki, if you are back again today, child, Kiki tried to give me the business a couple of weeks ago. Ooh. She came over and left 2 messages trying to cuss me out. Baby, I'm still gonna have some things to say, but I'm not gonna go back and forth with you, okay? Because you young enough to be my child. So that I'm never gonna do. But I'm still gonna be talking about your family, okay? And your family is taking over the show. So we're gonna be talking about all y'all. There it is. That's just the way it's gonna be, okay? But the scene opens up with Martell meeting up with Destiny and Chris. And Martell is a slime bucket. Destiny, I don't know why you don't check that bucket. I don't know why he continues to say the shit he does about you or over you and yours, but you let him. So it is what it is, okay? I don't know if that was always y'all relationship when he was married to Melody, if that was just always what you did, because you are very flirty, just like Nell Fletcher said at the end of the show. You are very flirty, girl. But anyway, Martell walks in. He said that he got some business to take care of with Destiny and Chris Fletcher. And this is crazy. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute, okay? And Martell comes in with these damn blueprints wrapped up in a rubber band, child, talking about he can't wait to get all his shit out there. Come on in. Come on in. I shouldn't have looked at the comments. My bad. Y'all know what? I'm not going to look at the comments a whole lot because it takes me off my game. Y'all going to have to, like, you know, give me like some sort of something to let me know that y'all have a question over there, because I got to keep my focus on the notes. Anyway, Martell comes walking in here, ends up hugging Chris, hugs Destiny. He's busting out of his shirt. You can see one of the buttons is hanging on for dear life, okay? And Destiny makes a comment, I see you busting out of your shirt. And that's when Martell diverts his eyes down at Destiny's cleavage, which there is plenty, okay? And he goes, well, you just inspired me, while still staring down at Destiny's titties, okay? And starts unbuttoning his shirt. And I'm like, oh my God, Destiny. Destiny, this is where you wring a motherfucker by his neck. You don't stop letting him say this shit over you. You got so mad at me, Destiny, when I said, because when they showed that clip of Martell doing that photo shoot like he was Tupac in the tub, I said, is Destiny and Martell fucking? Okay, I did ask that question, and I might have started the rumors that went across YouTube and things. But baby, the way you laid in on me and you had your friends come over to my chat and said, girl, how dare you? And I would never. This is why people think the way they fucking think, because that's not friendly, okay? That's not what your friend, your platonic friend, should be doing over you ever, especially now. You know what I'm saying? Since the rumors are out there, but you let that man stare at your chest for about a good 30, 45 seconds, to the point of where Chris started fucking adjusting his tie, like, okay? Like, I'm here. Why y'all doing all of this? It was nasty. It was nasty. Come on in. Welcome. 112 of you are here. I appreciate y'all. Anyway, Martell says he's not sure how Destiny and Chris are going to work together to sell this house that he's going to build in the next couple of months. It might take him, you know, a good 8 months to a year to build. But he said, I need them to work together to sell my house. Now, this was when I was like, what? I'm sorry. This is when I was like, when did y'all start filming the second half of the season? Because, baby, what we do know is that Chris doesn't even have a license. He is barred by the state to sell houses. That's number one. But y'all are sitting here having this fake ass phony conversation. And then Chris busted Destiny's ass out like, bitch, if we was to sell a house, I'd be the only one selling it, because in order to sell $1 million home, which Martell said it was going to be $1 million home. So let me paint the fantasy for you. He said that when he was married to Melody, before the bankruptcy and things, because y'all know they filed Chapter 13, which is against the businesses, basically saying that the businesses didn't have enough money to pay off the debts that were leaned against the businesses. So even though they said they were millionaires, about to be billionaires, they literally had more debt in those businesses than they did cash. So they had to file Chapter 13. Okay. However, Martell says, well, I want to do all the things that I had started off doing before the bankruptcies happened. Bitch, bye. He said he's building a 7-bedroom house with 7 bathrooms and a pool. This is his dream house, is how he referred to it. And he said he's going to build it and then he's going to sell it. And he said it's going to take him about 8 months to do. Okay? It's going to take me about 8 months to get this shit up here. Now, Chris said, well, if you're building $1 million home, especially in this fucking economy, it's going to probably take about a year to sell, just so you're aware. I don't want you to have any crazy ideas. This is all the fantasy island conversation that is happening at this table. Anyway, Martell even had the nerve to unroll those damn blueprints, okay? He literally rolled it out and put it on the table. And Destiny was like, oh, yeah, I remember that. When I tell y'all I howled, that's how you open up a show, with some good ass comedy, okay? Come on in, come on in, come on in. Child. Anyway, Chris goes into confessional and said, listen, okay, because I already told y'all, he said if there was anybody who was going to sell the house, it would be me. But what's Destiny's portfolio look like? Because you just don't go selling multi-million dollar homes, you or $1 million home. You got to work yourself up to that. And I ain't never known Destiny to sell a house, let alone sell one in Alabama. I should fucking know. This is how Chris said it, okay? He does have, a history for selling homes. And he said he ain't never known Destiny to sell one. So he popped Destiny's ass out while all of them was popping each other out, okay? Come on in, come on in. Funniest thing I ever saw. Anyway, people are calling this house the Lego house. The Lego house. Oh my goodness. Anyway, I howled. I thought that was the best scene ever. I really enjoyed it. And I want to thank y'all. Okay. Y'all keep talking about this business shit. Just let it die. Okay. Let it die. I believe all of y'all made $1 million at some point. Not all of you, but some of you that made $1 million at some point in your businesses, but all that shit was going left when y'all started this show, and it is what it is, okay? I'm out of the fantasy island, baby. Where's my spoon? I don't have a spoon. But listen, we got to come up out of that damn sunken place, okay? Let's get up out of that motherfucker, okay? Because it's killing me. Anyway, that's when they start talking about game night, okay? They start rehashing game night. Martell makes jokes about seeing Destiny with Will, like, oh, it's interesting you walked in with Will kind of thing. And Chris said, let's get down to business, baby, okay? What was going on with my wife? Like, you really should have had her back when y'all was out there. And she told me what happened. You know what I'm saying? She came home, told me that all of y'all jumped her about some shit. And Destiny was like, jumped her? Like, she's looking confused as fuck. No, he was like, well, it's interesting because it was 4 y'all against 1. If the shit was between her and Tisha, then why wasn't it just a conversation between her and Tisha? Okay. And Destiny's like, I was there because, I mean, she literally started stumbling. I was there because, I was the one who brought the information about y'all leaving LA. I brought that information back to Nell. So that's why I was there. So again, Destiny, now you're throwing everybody else under the bus because you sat there with Tisha and Kimmy when y'all was like, let's just go talk. You encourage that. You help encourage it. Girl, the way you throw people under the bus. Oh, I love it. Anyway, after she does all that, okay, and tries to, that's the reason why I was there. I don't know why them other people was there, but you're going to have to talk to them. And I'm really surprised that Nell Fletcher feels this way. And she gets in her confessional and she's like, I just didn't know. And I hope that we can find some resolve. I really want to talk to her about it. I bet you do, because you did start the whole thing. That's what you really should have told Chris. I started the whole thing. I felt responsible for the shit. So that's why I had asked if I could be a part of it. I don't know why the fuck Kimmy was there, okay? But she didn't do any of that. Anyway, Chris just looks at her like, Then he goes in confessional and says, listen, Destiny has been around for a long, long time. She knows my wife, right? She's been friends with my wife for a long, long time. And I'm not necessarily saying pick a side, but bitch, show some loyalty. That's what I said last week. Said the same exact thing. It didn't feel right to me when you had that conversation with Tisha, like, oh, I thought she wasn't invited because of Tisha. It felt like you was playing the middle, okay, instead of just being a true bone carrier. But cool, okay, I still like it. I still like what you got going on. No problem. Come on in, hit that like button. 203 of y'all are here, and I appreciate y'all, okay? Enjoy the cookout, child. Enjoy the cookout. But yeah, Chris calls her out and said, bitch, show a little loyalty. Show a little loyalty is what he says. I don't know. I'm just telling y'all what happened. Anyway, after that gets wrapped up and Destiny does feel away because she's made to feel like, she could be backstabbing people. Martell changes the subject and says, so who you dating now again? Are you done with Lance? Are you still are you dating Will now? Are you dating Twan? Hell, I got what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 more motherfuckers that I need to bring up. And Destiny's like, What? What? Oh, okay, because Destiny does not listen. I don't know if it's something in Destiny's past, but Destiny got to tighten up when she has some of these conversations with Martell. She becomes so giggly and mushy. It's it's ugly to watch. It's ugly to watch. But Destiny's sitting there playing shy, doing all of this while she's talking. And I don't know. I was uncomfortable. Like Chris, I was like, do y'all need some time alone? Period. Okay. But then Martell basically says, listen, we was hanging out with Will the other day, and I don't know how serious you are about him, but Will's on some hit it and quit it type of shit. Okay. So if that's what you into, cool. That's when Destiny says, well, I'm not indicated and quit it. That's number one. And then Martell goes from if that's what you're into to, well, how long do you date a man before you give up the draws? Because not a lot of men is going to be dating a woman with no return, which was a wild fucking thing for Martell to say. A man who's raising how many girls? 3? Child, you couldn't make it up. So anyway, Destiny says, well, I don't do that, okay? I don't do no hit it and quit it. In confessional, Destiny says I don't know, some shit like, you gotta commit in order to hit, you gotta commit, some sort of bullshit like that, okay? And then at the table, she's like, listen, just because you're settling for Ariane, just because you're settling doesn't mean I have to, okay? Look at you. You're all bald now. You done lost your judge. Okay, this is what Destiny's saying to Martell. You done lost your judge, you're bald. Just because you're settling doesn't mean I have to, okay? If they don't commit, they can't hit. Just ask Lance. Giggle, giggle, giggle. This is what Destiny's doing. But listen, we'll get there at the end of the show, because if Destiny didn't sleep with Lance, something else is going on. He done something. You know what I'm saying? Maybe sometimes people don't consider other things sleeping together. Destiny might be one of those, because she definitely got something going on. Okay, come on in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Anyway, after that, that's how it basically ends. Destiny says she's a choosy lover. She's a choosy lover, and she ain't gonna be sleeping with everybody, okay? Now we are at home with the Fletchers. And Miss Nell Fletcher is talking about this boutique that she's trying to open up. She's opening up something called Posh and Prissy. Make sure y'all take the poll at the top of the chat. While she's talking to Chris about this new business venture, Lance stops by and Nell screams out, does he got the baby? And Chris said, no, he don't have the baby. I wanted to say that because y'all know the baby was supposed to be off limits. You're not supposed to talk about the baby. And here she is screaming it out. Do you have the baby? So, don't know. Anyway, when Lance comes in, he shares that he hired his brother, Chris Jr., back to work with him at his business. Y'all know he has that landscaping or whatever type of business, handyman business. And he said that he hired his brother to come back. Okay. And this is where we find out that Chris Jr. is down on his luck a little bit. So much so, I don't know if they mentioned it here in this scene, but they do at the end. He was homeless for a couple of days, you know what I'm saying? Before he had to go back home, but he was homeless, okay? Like living in his car homeless. So anyway, Nell says, listen, your brother called me complaining about whatever y'all got going on up there at the business. And she said, I'm going to stay out of this shit, but I did give him some advice. I just wanted y'all to know that I gave him some advice, but I'm going to stay out of it, okay? And then Chris says, listen, we do for a talk anyway. Why don't we all come together as a family, maybe have a family dinner? Lance says, yeah, I recommend it too. Let's do it. We just got to get it out on the table before it festers into something else. And Nell looks around like, y'all bitches ain't giving me no work to do. Okay, it will be catered because there's about 25 of y'all, and I'm not trying to figure out how to cook all this damn food for all of you fools. Okay, so she said this is going to be catered. We'll have this dinner. First, she complained about it, like, you think that's a good idea? And then they start giving flashbacks of Nell Fletcher and the family at therapy, and her saying, I don't need no damn Dr. Francis. Y'all need Dr. Francis. Y'all need therapy. We need boundaries. Okay. So she's screaming, she's acting a fool, even in the therapy, even in therapy. But she said, I don't know if we should have everybody together again. Y'all know what happened last time. And they all said, we gonna do it, child. We gonna get it done. And she said, okay. Okay, y'all asked, y'all gonna get it. Cool. All right, let's see. Anyway, now we are moving forward to Destiny, who is on a skate date with Will the Barber. Will the Barber, okay? So listen, I like Will. You know what I'm saying? I think that I like to see this type of character on a show. He's necessary, period. Okay. He is a very commanding presence. What is he? 6'5". He is a straight shooter. He says exactly what he's thinking. And he pipes down some of the crazy shit that's going on with the other men, in particular Martell, and we're going to talk about that in a second. But he has a good commanding presence on the show. I like him. I think that they're trying to open him up to being on the show as a regular, because here in this scene, he tells us all about himself, right? Destiny's wearing this hot pink dress with a high slit up the middle to skate, because this is what they came here to do, to skate. I would think you'd put on some stretch pants or some shit, not Destiny. And she put on her cute little glitter pink skates, and she wasn't on the motherfuckers for 2 seconds before she almost fell and popped her ass, okay? And she's doing all this, trying to keep a balance, and Will grabs her and says, don't worry. If you fall, I'm gonna massage them glutes to make sure that everything goes well. Okay. Come on in. Continue to like Will. Good luck. I didn't say I wanted to have sex with Will. I said I like him on the show. He's a good character on the show. This is exactly what y'all have been asking for. Y'all keep asking for these men to say that they low down, no good, dirty, rotten dogs. And he's coming right out and said, listen, this is how I operate. This is how I operate. If you aren't willing to fit in what I like and what I do, be out, okay? We can't complain when you get exactly what the hell you want. Y'all kept saying, why don't they tell us they're cheating? Why don't they tell us they're this? He's telling y'all, I cheat, or that I have a bunch of different women in different area codes, and they all cool with it. They gotta be, because that's the only way I operate. I don't do the okay? Ain't nobody stabbing each other over here. Okay, there's nobody who's going to say they clueless. I'm going to tell you exactly where I'm at. I don't know. I think it's refreshing, as some people would say. Okay. He said, let's not put words in my mouth. Well, I don't know. I'm just saying. Anyway, all I said was, as a character on the show, he's a good character on the show. Okay. Anyway, after he does this little skating thing, because that didn't go well, they tried, but I guess there was grooves in the sidewalk and they kept almost falling down. They end up sitting at this picnic table where he's thought of pretty much everything. He got plates of fruit and cheese and shit for Destiny to enjoy herself. And then he tells Destiny his spiel. This is something that he says all of the time. And you know this because he has props. He brought props to the picnic, not just grapes, but a little basketball. And I said, bitch, not props. This is a motherfucker who has a well-formed, what's the word I'm looking for? when he's trying to talk to a woman and bring them in the fold, this is how he does it. It's the same speech every time, and you either get on or you get off. Okay, I've heard some of these speeches before. I've known people who gave me a speech that they didn't gave somebody fucking else, and we done talked about it. And I said, no, he didn't pull a basketball, a small one, out of the picnic basket and said, yeah, so so I used to be a basketball player. Dusty said, hell yeah, you was a basketball player. You 6'5". It would be a waste for you not to have been a basketball player. He's like, yeah. So, I got 4 kids and I got 4 baby mamas. Like, he's sharing all of it. All of it. He says that he's not into marriage, but he will commit to the right person or persons with an S. Okay. And then Destiny said, persons? Persons? And he said, persons. You heard right, bitch. In confessional, Destiny said, no. I'm not about the polyamorous, the poly nothing. I don't do it. And that's when I laughed again, because Destiny, if you are dating best friends and brothers, you are in a polyamorous relationship on GP. Okay, you can't even lie to one of them and say you got a headache or some shit, because they're going to talk and say what happened when they did the Wednesday and that one did the Thursday and the other one did the Saturday. That's what you're in. You're in a polyamorous relationship with all these motherfuckers. Whether you want to say you doing the do or not, Destiny. Oh my God, the way I laugh when you talk, child. I don't know why you insist on these crazy fucking storylines. And I'm gonna tell you something else. I believe you're lying about every single one of them personally, because there's no way in hell you are dating all these people at the same time when and acting like you don't know any of them, when you and Martell created this other story about how you were raised for part of your junior high and whatever high school, I don't know, career, right? You have been in this small ass town in Huntsville, and your high school played against the rivalry high school where Martell was on. That's the story you told. Now, we heard that shit was a complete and total lie, and that nobody had ever heard of it before. But I do know that if you live in a small ass town, because I'm familiar with small towns, I was raised in one, you know every fucking body. And you know who's friends with who, and who's brothers with who, and who's who with who, period. So you got to cut that shit out. Give it up. Give up the entire storyline at this point. That's what I say. I have never seen such fibbery in my goddamn life. The only thing that was honest in this situation was Will saying, listen, this is what I got going on. Because you wasn't even googly eyed the way you were with Twan. I didn't know that they were God brothers, but we'll get there. Anyway, after they say all that shit, and don't nobody come over here saying I'm being hard on Destiny, the facts are the facts, period. Okay? Y'all know all these people, and she don't know none of these men know each other. That's not true. Anyway, Will says, listen, I'm an open book, okay? I ain't never gonna lie to you, but I might withhold the truth, okay? I ain't gonna lie to you. Ask me about it, I'll tell you, but I ain't always gonna be giving you all of the business, because there's some shit that, you don't need to know. You know what I'm saying? And Destiny's just sitting there like, I don't even know what to do. I don't even know what to do now, because maybe she wasn't expecting the conversation to go down this way. I don't know. Anyway, that's when Destiny busts out her good friend Martell. And she says, listen, Martell told me that you're a hit it and quit it kind of guy. Which, if that was the case, and that was the thing that was going to stop you from fucking around with Will, you should have told him over the phone, I'm not coming. I won't be there. But she said, that's what he told me. And Will said, that was game night. We was just, joking. It wasn't, serious. It was festivities, okay? And she said, no, it wasn't game night. And then he goes, oh, oh, yeah, me and I was working out with them. And yeah, we talked a little, I was just joking. Anyway, then we get the flashback where we see Will talk to Fletcher about dating Twan. And he makes a big ass eyeball like, she dating Twan? He went, well, I knew about Jalen and Lance. How in the fuck does Will know about Jalen is the question. How does he know about Jalen? See how easy it is to find all this shit out? When you live in a small town and you dating people in the town, you ask that one person who the fuck they know so that you never have this type of crossover. Ever. Ever, 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 ever. Anyway, he says to her at the table, you know Antoine? And Destiny's like, yeah, I know Twan. Oh, yeah, so you dating my boy? Destiny's like, ah, now she's stuck. Oh my God, I'm so embarrassed. Bitch, just say the date's over, okay? Because at this point, he thinks you a slide anyway. He thinks you're a slide, whether the hit it and quit it was a thing or not. You are dating multiple people that he knows. Twan, Lance, Jalen. Who else? Did I miss somebody? Okay, him, child. And then he said to her, you and Martell talk too much. Who's Martell to you? Because you love to say what Martell says. So he done put about 8 men out there just now. And I also want to point out that none of these men have anything in common with Destiny's ex-husband. Okay? Not even looks wise. That's it. They are all different. Very different from that ex-husband. Now, I didn't know that she dated Jalen. I thought that was supposed to be a joke, but that's what Will says. So I'm like, either they are trolling us and they don't want us to be too smart, because people have been calling Destiny a hoe over the years and saying, that she's stretched out and shit. So maybe they're trolling everybody with this conversation. I feel it's fake. Personally, I do. But I'm just telling y'all, in order for you to live in a small town like the Huntsville, you're going to ask questions before it even gets here. And if Destiny says to Lance with her own mouth, I'm going to start dating your god brother, Twan, then she ain't got no problem with anybody else. But here she says, if Will knows Twan, then I'm backing out of this relationship with Will. You knew Lance and you didn't back out the relationship with Twan. This is where shit gets confusing. Help me help y'all. Because this is stupid. Oh my goodness. Anyway, Destiny finally gets this revelation like, shit, this town is small as fuck. I need to move up out of here, okay? I need to just move. Whereas Will's like, so when are we going to see each other again? When are we going to see each other again, okay? I see you, you look good, we have a good time. Then all of a sudden you disappear like you're Cinderella. And Destiny's like, you ain't never seeing me again, okay? I don't know what to do, okay? I got to start dating men that don't live in the state anymore, okay? It was just a hot ass mess. Anyway, the other thing that she said is, let me make sure I say this part about Twan right. When he was specifically asking her about Twan, because he said me and Twan go way back, like junior high way back, like 2002 way back. Destiny was sitting there like, oh, like, what am I going to do now? And she was getting so embarrassed and shamed that I get the impression that Destiny might have did some things with Twan. I don't know, just saying, because he caught it too. And she said, well, we had a business lunch. And he said, yeah, that's how I got my 4 kids, over business lunches. over business lunches. Okay. So I know a thing or two about the business lunch, bitch. Pencil me in for a business lunch. Okay. So we can have baby number 5 on the way. Child. Anyway, that scene was funny to me. Oh my God. The antics, 2 back-to-back scenes of comedy, period. Anyway, that's how the scene ends with Destiny saying that she got to rethink things, okay? And we will see what happens next. Now, this is another comedy scene. I swear to God, this scene was funny. If y'all saw this shit, the way Martell was reacting to Will, it was probably one of the best scenes ever. Come on in. 341 of y'all are here. I appreciate every single one of y'all. Hit my like button, share this video. Okay. Now we are talking about Martell, who meets up with Will and Ken to play a little basketball. When Martell is standing beside Marceau and Maurice, Martell looks like a big guy. But when Martell is standing beside Will, Martell looks like he is this fucking big. He is a tot compared to Will. Will is like bohemian, okay? He is huge. He is huge, okay? Anyway, he's sitting there playing basketball, and Martell says something about, you could tell that Will was going to get in Martell's ass in the scene. Not in a bad way, you know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't really have to ruffle up his school clothes. His words and his presence did everything it was supposed to do. But anyway, Martell makes some joke about, are they ready for the Scots basketball, something. So I guess there might be something coming up with the Scots. We'll see. And then Martell asks if Will went out with Destiny. Oh, excuse me. Will says, I went out with Destiny. Martell's throwing the ball. He's like, oh, yeah. She told me y'all was going to go out. Did you do what you said you was going to do? Hit it and quit it. Did you do what you said you was going to do? And Will tilts his head and says, I'm glad you said that. Okay. I'm glad you said that because she told me that you told her I said that. And Martell's face cracked. Now, Destiny did play you by putting your name in it because she could have easily just said, listen, I don't do that without adding you. But Destiny played the fuck out of Martell when she put your name in it. And Will stood straight, looked down at Martell's eyes, okay? Martell starts stuttering. He doesn't know what to say. Will says, why would you tell a woman something like that? Now, Will, you did say it, but Will said, bitch, we was just talking as men. Why would you take your adult head, because Martell is a little goofy, adult head over there to her and tell her some shit like that? Martell says, me and Des go way back. We go way back. Will said, oh, so I have to watch what I say around you. Gotcha. I have to watch what I say around you. While he's doing that, Ken is on the side with his eyebrow lifted like, bitch, what am I watching? What am I watching? Destiny throws everybody under the bus anyway. Martell said, well, you know, she's newly divorced. Bitch, she was divorced before you. That's not new. She's been divorced over 5-something years, child. She done dated a couple of guys before. Will, why are you doing this? Martell is so nervous, he's saying anything. What did we say we were gonna? Oh, yeah. We went to high school together. What else did we talk about? Our families, my mom dated her dad. What else was I supposed? Like, you can see his mind is scrambling. And while he's doing that, Will looks over at Ken like this. Like, I mean, you could tell they lock eyes like, this motherfucker motherfucker. And I'm not even playing. Y'all know sometimes I exaggerate shit just to, make this entertaining. He looked at Ken like, don't invite this motherfucker here no more, okay? But bottom line is, Will said, I'm not going to talk around you. I'm not going to talk around you, period. Okay, let's not make that mistake again. Ken says some shit like, well, did you have a good date? Just to move things along, because you could tell there was a lot of tension in there. Ken said, well, all that aside, did you have a good day with Destiny? He said, shit, it went okay. You know what I'm saying? He said, at the end of the day, it didn't play out the way I wanted to because Martell had already told everything. You know what I'm saying? He had already told everything. Anyway, Will ends up saying that Destiny is a liar. That's pretty much how it ended. After he said Martell ruined the plan, he said, what I found out about Destiny, even though she's a cool girl and she might be some good eye candy, okay, cute on my arm, it ain't my thing to, get engaged and divorced on the same night. So it is what it is. But she's a liar. And Martell says, not Destiny. What's she lie about? Still, Ken and Will are like, what is wrong with you? Why are you so nervous? Okay. And he said, well, I asked her about my boy Twan and if they were dating. And she said some shit like they did a business meeting. But when I talked to him, and he has no reason to lie on his dick, okay? When I talked to him, he said, no, they're not dating, but they do other things. And Martell said, he said it like that, they do other things, just like that. And that's how the scene ends. The way this episode made Destiny look like a slip and slide, God damn, I hate that for her. Oh, it was awful. Come on in, come on in, come on in. I said, baby, I don't know what you saw when you started this season, but when these men got into these scenes by themselves, child, and they started talking over you, what a mess. What a mess. This is a shit that people live their whole lives to avoid, and it happened in 1 hour. It happened in 1 hour on this show. Listen, JJ from Bell Collective, he quit the show because he said the last thing he needs is for his current wife and his fucking ex-wife to be friendly. Okay, not friends, just friendly. I don't want y'all talking to each other at all. What a time. Anyway, now we are at the last scene. This is the Fletchers. The Fletcher family dinner, and everybody's there. Of course, is her name Lexi? Lexi's not there. Chris Fletcher's other daughter. She's not there, but everybody's invited, including the daughter niece, Kiki, and Twan is also at the house, and Destiny's about to get worn the fuck out again in this scene. Anyway, Lance ends up inviting, well, first, let me start here. Okay, no. Lance ends up inviting his girlfriend or friend. She's not a girlfriend. 369 of y'all are here. Please hit the like button and share this video. She invites the girlfriend, Kiara, okay, to the family dinner. Now, this was a family dinner that he had a conversation with his mama and his daddy, the three of them, where they said they was going to get to the root of some of the drama that was going on in their family. So I'm curious as to why he would bring a woman he doesn't even consider dating, but he brings this woman to the party. And I'm telling you right now, if this happened at my family house, somebody would have walked her out the door. Sorry. Somebody would have said, oh, Lance, can I talk to you for a second? We're here to have a conversation about blah, 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 blah. Maybe you can get her an Uber, because this isn't what we plan to do. I ordered $300 worth of food on that countertop. I did not ask you to bring her here. And if you insist on her sitting here, that she's about to hear all of it, because I'm not biting my tongue for her. Okay? Period. Come on in, come on in, come on in. 370 of y'all are here. So listen, when we're at this family dinner, this is where Chris Jr. tells the family, or the rest of the family, because I guess not everybody heard it, that he had to live in his car for a couple of days. When he walked in the house with his shades on, he's a little thinner than he was, I think, a season or so ago. He hugs his mama. It was real cute to see, because you know that they bump heads sometimes. But Nell Fletcher said, don't be treating me like I'm a motherfucking stranger, okay? Now, when you had everything you owned on my goddamn back patio, me and your daddy came in from the club. We was out partying, dancing, drinking, having a good ass time. Walked back into our house and saw your entire place on our back patio, okay? So she telling all the business, just like my grandma used to do. Told all the business to everybody who could listen. Anybody in earshot. And then she said, maybe this ain't the place to have this conversation. Maybe this ain't the place to have this conversation. Okay. Chris Jr. says, yeah, what y'all don't know is before I even made the decision to come here to my mama and daddy's house, I was actually living in my car for 2 days or so. Right. And so now we know that he's hit rock bottom. Okay, with some things. Anyway, Nell Fletcher says, let's pause the conversation. The guys go in one room, the ladies are in the kitchen, and in the room with the guys, they're talking about fatherhood. We know now that Chris Jr. has a little baby, and Chris Jr. says, I really love being a father. I love changing diapers. I love everything about it. Mostly, he loves that having this child is making him think about growing up. Okay. So he says, listen, every thought that I'm having now or lately has been, I put her in the front of my mind before I make dumb decisions. I think about what I'm going to do, if I make a bad decision and it takes me away from my child. And I don't know if it's a her or a him. I think Lance has a daughter. So if I said that wrong, because I don't remember if Chris Jr. has a boy or a girl, but he did say that he puts the baby first. He thinks about the baby because now, he's been out here living reckless and anything can happen. I can go to prison. I can get, unalive. But now he's thinking, I got a baby to take care of. And that's all you can ask for at this point, right? So that was a real good conversation. Loved that scene, by the way. Loved it. Chris is the proud daddy watching over everything. Lance talks about his baby too. So we know, you know what I'm saying? I don't know if Twan has kids, but I really enjoyed it. Thank you, Creo. I appreciate you. Anyway, 400 of y'all are here, 421. Hit the like button. While the men are having that conversation, Nell is in the kitchen making jokes about different things. Okay. And she starts talking about, I guess, family dinner and destiny a little bit. Because in confessional, Nell Fletcher makes the comment, listen, I don't know why the fuck Lance brought, I should have said this a little earlier, but she said, I don't know why Lance brought this girl to this damn dinner. This is too soon. It's too soon. And Chris said, well, this is something Lance got to figure out. But I understand what Nell Fletcher is saying. At the end of the day, you say he got to figure it out. But if he accidentally gets this girl pregnant like he did with the last one, who the other one can't even be a mama to. He has full custody of this damn baby. She can't even be a mama to. That shit falls on me. So yes, he needs to put his on ice. Put it on ice. You don't have to date every damn body. Not to mention the fact you bringing this girl over here for what? You didn't even bring Destiny over for family dinner. So what's so special about her if she's not someone you're dating for real, for real? Good question. This is a question mama's asked, y'all. Are you trying her out for babysitting duty? What? We want to know. Lance, okay? But all of that happens. And then Nell Fletcher is in the kitchen with the newbie, Kiera. And she says, listen, I guess she said something about the games night party and how what happened. I think her daughter asked, what happened between you and Kimmy and Tisha and Destiny, whatever, right? Get to talking about it. And her mom, Nell Fletcher didn't say anything. She said, Kiara was there, right? And Kiara's like, I was there. I saw the whole thing. I saw you pop off. I'm surprised Kiara would even want to come to dinner after watching Lance's mama almost whoop somebody's ass, okay? I would say I'm going to pass this time. I'm going to pass this time. I forgot about that. Maybe later, okay? Shit, I need a place to run. Take me over to that house where you can show me where all the exits are so that I know where to go if anything pops off. But Kiara is sitting there, they're laughing and joking about Destiny. And I guess the girl says some shit like, where was Destiny? You know, how did she receive you? And she said, well, yeah, I saw her sneak glancing and sneak staring and smirking. I'm up here having a conversation with Lance, my man. I look up, that bitch giving me a up and down and and I was like, oh, Destiny. And then Nell said, well, Destiny did come over. That's probably why I lost my voice. Destiny did come over at the game night, and she parked outside the house. Her and Lance was out there talking for 10, 15 minutes. And Kiara's entire face shuts down. She's like, why that bitch? That's a problem. That's a problem. Now, Nell Fletcher just dropped the fire, okay? I'm going to drop this fire right here. And whatever happens next happened because, bitch, you too close to Lance. And I'm going to tell you right now, you don't know if he is still dipping that brush into another can of paint. So just so, if you don't think so, I want you to know so. And this is exactly how slick, some of y'all know it, how slick mamas are. Because this is a shit they say, listen, bitch, I might not snitch all the way, but I'm a snitch part of the way. You're going to have to figure, you don't have to put this shit together, okay? I need to see how dumb you are. This is the how dumb are you conversation that the mamas have with these young ladies that come inside the house, period. Anyway, while she's saying all this and checking Kiara's temperature, because that's what she want to see, she makes some joke about Destiny or some shit, and then Nell Fletcher put her hand up to high five, okay? And Kiara was a little slow. She didn't know how to high five her, so she said, you gonna leave mama hanging? And she went, oh, okay, because now she thinks she ain't good. And then she said, so I can call you mama? And Nell Fletcher with a smile on her face went, no. You can call me Miss Nell. And she went, oh, maybe later. Bitch, maybe, okay? Much later, okay? Lance don't know how to pace this shit, but I do. So don't you for a second let the words mama come out of your mouth, okay? And I know you. I used to babysit you at the daycare. You was in the class for many years. But you're still going to call me Miss Nell just like you used to, okay, baby? Okay, that shit was hilarious. Okay, come on in, come on in. You're going to keep calling me Miss Nell, period, okay? But now that Kiara got the tea, okay? They are at the dinner table. They done made their plates, child. She's sitting there right next to Lance, and she says, so I was told that Destiny came over the other day, and y'all was talking, and you didn't even tell me. You didn't even tell me about it. And Lance is trying to get the last pinch of shrimp meat out of the bottom part of the shell, child. He was sucking and peeling, and I was like, bitch, there's nothing left. Just go get some more shrimp. She had a whole tin of shrimp. But he looked like he's trying to choke all of a sudden when this girl asked, and he went, okay. What do you want him to say? He literally says to her at the dinner table, we're not exclusive. I told you that. Period. But you are sitting here making some demands of me to tell you about another woman? What part of not exclusive do you not understand? Oh, Lord, the way that child's face cracked. Now, while all this is happening, best part of the episode, Chris Fletcher is staring at his son, Lance, like he's having memories about how he got caught back in the day with Nell. And he would get grilled. He's sitting there, and I swear to y'all, I'm not making this up. He has this glee in his eyes, and his hand is slightly in front of his mouth, but you can see the smile behind his hand where he's just like, how are you going to weasel yourself out of this one? Baby, the way that man got high off of Lance's problems beside that girl, I'm not making it up. Everybody else is eating. Nell Fletcher in confessional said, this bitch is doing too much. She needs to know her place, okay? Sitting here acting like she the girlfriend. I'm telling you that he is with somebody else. And if he's not, he will be tomorrow. Get your shit together, period, okay? Anyway, Chris went all the way back to 1965, okay? When he was driving a Deuce. I swear to y'all, the way that man's his whole face, never did his face light up the way it did in that particular scene. When he's talking to Martell, regular schmegular. When he's talking to his son earlier, regular schmegular. When he's watching Lance and Kiana, that man was like, damn, I used to be a rolling motherfucking stone. Like he was having fond memories of himself, child. Y'all saw it. Y'all saw it. Anyway, it was a top tier scene. Those are the moments I live for, when you can see that little extra something that they don't know is getting picked up by the camera and they put it in. Bravo, bravo, producers. That was great. Anyway, after Kiana tries to check Lance, Lance says, listen, I don't know why she came over. She said she was on a baby run or something to get the baby to go to sleep. Destiny's baby is 5. Now, back in the day, I know you drive babies around and the vibration helps them go to sleep, but he's 5 now. So Chris says Destiny lives on the other side of town. How the fuck did she take a whole tank of gas over here to do a baby run? Not to mention the fact y'all live on a cul-de-sac, don't you? I don't even think there's an in or an out. You are the circle. You are at the end of that drive, of that street. So Destiny drove there, parked, and waited for Lance to drive up into the yard. How did she know he was coming unless she sent him a text or a call? Don't know, but it sounds like a lie to me, Kay. If you and Lance are in a real relationship, that's a lie. That's a cul-de-sac, and you should have known that, okay? Anyway, he said, I don't know. I went to get the kids pizza. I didn't know anything about no damn Destiny coming over. She didn't say nothing to me. But when I got out the car, I started looking and squinting. I recognized that's Destiny. That's her car. So, I went over and talked to her for about 10, 15 minutes. Kiana went, 10, 15 minutes? He says nothing else. You don't need to know what we talked about, how we got there. Because I told y'all, in this very scene, he said, what you're not going to do is make it seem like I'm cheating on you. I told you I don't have enough room in my life for the 3 kids or 4 kids that I'm taking care of, and my business, and my family, and my friends. Then comes you, bitch. You're last. You're last on the totem pole. If my mama didn't tell you when you was in the kitchen, I don't know who else can. But you and I had this conversation. We're not exclusive. And then this dodo bird says, you did tell me. But when we do become exclusive, you're going to have to ask me to be your girlfriend. But you're not exclusive. This was not the moment to say that. This isn't you trumping him. He trumped you. You've been trumped 3 fucking times already in this entire scene. Girl, back down. Just eat your shrimp or whatever's on that plate and stop. That shit was hilarious. It was hilarious. Anyway, after all that, and Chris was like, he's doing everything I taught him to do. He's doing everything I taught him to do, right? That's when they move it over to Twan now, because that's what she's supposed to do. Well, I know Destiny was outside the house to see you, but is you and Destiny? Now she talking to Twan to see Lance, but with the two, are you still fucking with the two? That's what we want to know. And now everybody's like, wait a minute. Okay, even Chris Jr. is like, what? Did you just say that Destiny was dating Will, Lance, and now she's dating Twan? And that's when Kiana pipes in and said, you next, bitch. You're next. I'm not making it up. They have a whole conversation now about Destiny's walls and how she is moving through the family and all of Huntsville streets, child. Destiny, why did you let this happen to you? Why? Oh my God, I have never. This would happen though at a regular dinner, child. The way they pretended to nice talk over you while saying, well, if Will wanna, that's fine, because I do know Will and she's okay. And he and I just went on a business lunch and a blah, blah, blah. Girl. That's not what you want, especially with men who can't keep it in their pants. They're only keeping it in their pants with you. Is that what you want us to think? Because all of these guys are certified hoe bags. They say it up front, but you are who they're going to take it slow with. Child, goodbye. And why were you over Lance's house after this Fletchtivities? Nobody knows. Nell Fletcher said, I'd love to know, because Destiny's a big fucking flirt. And even though she wants people to think that she ain't trying to be with this one, that one, and the other one, when she's around a man that she wants to be with, she puts it on thick, okay? She becomes a peacock. Them feathers spread all the way down, okay? All the way over. And anybody in the room can see that Destiny is into it and wants it. That's what your almost mama-in-law said, okay? Like you told Chris earlier, oh, I'm so sorry. I know I was almost your daughter-in-law. And he went like this. Yeah. No, you weren't. Child, the way you, listen, anyway, moving on to the next one. I thought it was funny. I thought it was funny. And I'm not even saying this because I want Destiny to change. I'm just saying, good for you. Good for you, because this is actually a good episode, Destiny. You did make this episode amazing, period. Okay, anyway, like I said, the entire family laughs. Now, Nell done had a few drinks in her. Red wine looks to be her poison, okay? And even though she had told her son just a little earlier, we're going to table this discussion, she says this to Chris Jr., this ain't the time to talk about you being homeless. I heard it. Anyway, after they finished dinner and she done poured down at least 3, Nell looks down the table and said, now what's this shit about you sleeping in your car? Okay, I went, no, she didn't. No, you didn't. So she calls him out and says, baby, I'm going to need you to talk about why you were sleeping in that damn car in front of everybody, okay? Now, Chris says some crazy shit. I can't even repeat it because it was dumb. He said something about him. Y'all love us too much and y'all love us to the point of where we can't stand on our own. Basically, he's calling them enablers. You're enabling me. And really, I wish that you would just let us fall down sometime, because y'all done picked us up so damn much. I'm handicapped. I don't know how to fucking move. This is what he says, as I'm going to read, Chris Jr. E's, whatever language he was talking. But he says, I want y'all to let me fall down so that I can figure it out. Okay? Now, this is after it looks like Nell saved his life, because it looks like he might have gotten himself into so much trouble he could have went to prison. But while he's saying that, Nell gulps and she looks down at the end of that table and she just zones in on her son. And Chris says, big Chris Fletcher says, I wanted to let you fall on your ass. I really did. I've said a couple of times, we need to just let you fall. And Nell, Immediately she is pissed. She said, you said you said you wanted to let him fall? You wanted to let him fall? And he went, maybe I worded it wrong. I mean, we both helped. We both helped, but how do I want to say it? And she was like, get it the fuck out, because she's pissed. She is pissed. Come on in. Welcome, y'all. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So anyway, he tries to explain it again. And Nell says, listen, I'm a mama. That's my son. I didn't want him to go to prison. So yes, I'm going to do what it takes to keep him out of prison. Me. Okay, if you want that to be a me thing, fine. I'm his mama. I don't know anybody who wouldn't do that for their kid. Now this is Chris and Nell having an inside argument, but Lance isn't picking up on it, because you got to know when to stay the fuck out of your mama and daddy's business. Okay, stay out of it. You're grown. Okay, but she's like, listen, that's my son. I'm not going to watch him get into that kind of trouble. So Chris tries to switch it up. And Nell's like, I done spent a lot of money on y'all. And Chris is like, yeah, that's the point, because it sounds like you're saying, now Chris Senior is saying, it sounds like you're saying that we spoiled y'all. But really, y'all are entitled. Well, bitch, entitled, spoiled, same. You know what I'm saying? It means nothing. He's telling you at this point, Chris Jr. is like, well, I'm tired of y'all helping me and throwing it back in my face. Now, Chris Jr. thinks that he's being cute, maybe, because that's the last thing you want to say if someone's telling you they're spending their last to protect you and keep you safe when they have other things they need to do with their money. Nell Fletcher's like, bitch, we're getting older. Our bodies don't work the same. We can't be slaving and putting ourselves into the fucking ground for you. Not to mention the fact that Big Daddy Chris, he done lost a source of income for us because he got his license pulled. But she's not saying that. I want y'all to know she never said that, but there's a look over Chris's face that's really guilty. Like he keeps playing with his lips and frowning, and he's kind of fidgeting around in his seat. And I'm like, oh no, is there something there? Are they having money problems? What? But Nell Fletcher's like, listen, y'all got to stop doing this shit. And Chris says to his son, Chris Jr., when Chris said, I'm tired of y'all throwing it back in my face, Chris Sr. says, is that what you think this is? Because now he's more than ever. He's intense about money. You think that us being your parents and helping your ass out when you hit rock bottom is us holding it over your head because we talk to you about it as your parents? Nell Fletcher is like, cut all that shit out. Cut it all out. Lance starts chiming in and he says, Mom, I think we're all on the same page. We're all saying the same exact thing. Now Nell looks over at Lance and says, my bad. I looked at my face just now and it made me laugh. Hold on. Nell looks at Lance and says, are you your daddy's mouthpiece now? He needs you to convey his fucking thoughts? Chris says, I'm fine. Chris Sr.'s like, I've been married to her for 30 years. I know what this is. I know what it's about. He don't have to speak for me. It's too late. He already done spoke. Lance is like, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. I'm just saying that you get yourself hyped. Lance, now's the time to just zip it, baby. Don't say nothing else. Chris Jr. is like, well, I think all of us as a family have, we've been through a lot. And Nell said, this is when she pounds the table, baby. She said, there's only one person at this table who's going through a motherfucking lot. There's only one person at this table who's going through a lot. And then she gets up and walks off. And I have to say, go on ahead and give them Fletchers a show right the fuck now. Just give them the show. Call it the Fletcher Show. The way the Fletchers brought these last, I don't know, 30 minutes home, bravo, bravo. This is a good episode. This was a good episode. I'm going to give it a strong, like 8.5, 9 out of 10. And I'm going to tell you why. Because kids that grow up in nice, if you don't, set some boundaries, you know what I'm saying, about money and shit like that, people don't always know what the other side look like. You know what I'm saying? When people are like, you got to be careful not to spoil them, you got to be careful to show them responsibility. You got to, get them big so that they can go outside and be grown. Teach them how to fish so that they know how to eat, right? Warren Buffett, who is a billionaire, he said, I'm going to pay for y'all niggas to go to school. My bad. I'm going to pay for y'all to go to school, but that's it. I'll give every dime of my damn money away. You're not going to get a penny, okay? Figure it out for yourselves. Live this life for yourself. But sometimes when you have families that grew up without it, they feel like they got to give it all away to their kids. And then kids grow up and they don't know how to take care of themselves. And your grown-ass kids are sitting at the table saying, I know I still owe you money from before. And you got one who gives a kind of apology because you done put out every damn thing you had to get him, or get him a lawyer or whatever, so he didn't go to jail. And he said, shit, you might as well let me go to jail. Let me fall down so I can figure it out. Okay, that way you can stop holding it over my head. That ain't holding it over your head, asshole. I'm trying to make you responsible, and you got to hear it from somebody. My job isn't to do this. You got a child of your own. Child, the way they, the way they came through in this scene, I love it. You still got to teach the kids responsibility. They don't know it just because. Look, Ty is blessing the channel. She said, I gave it a 10 because there were no Scots on it. Okay. Well, nice to have your opinion about that. It was a good episode. I really enjoyed it. I really did. But yeah, she let people know, bitch, that it is. Okay, it is what it is. But not everybody knows what that might look like on the other side. And there are a lot of children right now who don't know how to think themselves out of a paper bag. They feel like everything's supposed to be fair. Nothing in life is fair. And Black women should know this better than any fucking body. I mean, the shit that has happened to us on United States soil, we know what fair and not fair is. But sometimes people, we are watching generations of people just think, well, this is what we should do or how it should be. Y'all got to learn how to fight yourselves. You got to learn how to fight yourselves. And if it doesn't go your way, you can't be tearing down institutions because it does not work for you. You figure out a way to fight in the system. That's how it is. You're not going to rebuild the system, period. Not like that. But the way this shit has played out, and now we have Nell Fletcher pissed, and she done lost her words, and they do need Dr. Francis again. She put herself in the bathroom, child, and took a time out. It was absolutely phenomenal. Come on in, y'all. Turn them loose. Anyway, I had asked y'all to take that poll because I said, listen, I'm not so sure that he got it, even though Nell said, I think that he apologized. He barely apologized. He said some things he thought y'all wanted to hear, but what he really said that caught me off guard was, I don't want you to hold it over my head. And I'm going to hold it over your head every fucking time. If I have to bail you out, I'm holding it over your head. You need to know about it. Just like we continue to hear them damn dogs in the Fletcher's household, child. When the doorbell ring, them puppies that used to belong to Chris Jr., I'm sure they're full-grown dogs now. But they are still with Nell Fletcher because she said what? I paid a lot of money to get them dogs well. When we went to your house and they were starving, you don't need no dogs. You can't take care of yourself. So I will have them at my house. And I didn't even want a dog, child, but I got them now. I agree with her, period. Okay. Now let's look at the poll real quick to see what y'all had to say. Okay, so I asked y'all if Nell Fletcher should stay out of her children's business, period, and just let them fall. Because Chris said, let them fall, child. He don't give a shit. But the options were, yes, let them go to prison. If that's what's going on, let them go. 36% of y'all voted for that. 50% of y'all voted and said no. She'll always protect her kids. Those are her babies, okay? She's going to protect them. And then 15% of y'all was cleaning pig feet for Sunday dinner. Cool. Nice to see that, okay? Anyway, that was the poll. Loved it. And I appreciate y'all for coming through. 430 something, I think almost 500 of y'all were here to see the review. Hopefully y'all were entertained by it. Y'all enjoyed yourselves and you share this video with others, okay? Share the video with others. You said that you are with the 50%. I'm with the 50% too. I think it would be hard to watch your child go to jail, especially if you have it. But at the same time, like I said, there's a lot of people who come out and say, we don't give our kids money, the Buffetts, who else? Who owns Facebook? Zuckerberg, basically letting people know you can date our children if you want to, but they don't have anything. They don't have anything. Our money's our money, and when we die, the money's going to be it'll go to charity, but they won't get it. So if that's the goal, if that's what you think, it'll never happen. Okay. Thank you for the super sticker, Ty. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. And that's it. That was the show. I love the show. I thought it was a good show. I'm looking to see how these people work themselves out of these problems. And I think that a lot of what we saw is stuff that's really going on in the real world. Okay. Let's see. She said they're not babies and they're going to end up putting them in the poorhouse if they continue. Without the current cast. Listen, if y'all go back and watch the show with everything that y'all know now, y'all know that the current cast isn't the only ones that was sharing fibs, okay? There was a lot going on that show, and it was supposed to play out one way, it played out another. But it seems like everybody is punishing the Scotts for keeping up the story that wasn't true to begin with. It wasn't true to begin with. So you might be holding on to anger that shouldn't be there. It's misplaced. And I get it. We all thought one way at the beginning, but you got to let it go. Let it go, because it just was never true. It was never true. There was never true. That's all I'm gonna say. And y'all, if y'all listen with your good ears, they're telling you it wasn't true. Okay. But that's it. That's it. That's all. I appreciate every single one of you who came out to hang out with me today for the cookout. I appreciate y'all so much. If you are not a subscriber, become one and follow me on all my platforms at DYANAROZAY. Okay. What else? Hit the like button, share the video, all the things. Love you guys. Till the next time. Bye-bye.